My name's Corey Shorb, and I'm addicted to running, but that hasn't always been the case.
So how do you feel about talking to these kids?
I feel all right. I'm not nervous, honestly. It's overwhelming, but I'm not nervous at all, to be honest with you. It's, I think it's a good opportunity. There's a lot of kids here.
We are privileged to have a guest speaker here with us today. Corey Shorb, please give him your attention. And away we go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Corey.
I was asked by your principal to come speak to you all basically about some of the decisions that I've made throughout my life, kind of just like my story. I grew up in Emmitsburg, Maryland, which is a small town. One stoplight. I went to church. I played Little League baseball. I went to the prom. I was a cute, blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy who should have had no problems. Someone told me years ago, you know how you can tell someone has problems? They're breathing. It's called life. I always say this, I've always listened to people all my life. I've just listened to the wrong people. If you show me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are. But when I look back, sometimes I'll say, where did I go wrong? I got into drinking young, 8, 9, 10 years old. And my outlook was, it's just drinking. What's that gonna hurt? Which eventually progressed to me doing, smoking a little weed. What's it gonna hurt? It's only weed. And it just progressed. And I started selling drugs. I started getting very wrapped up in selling heroin. And I never in a million years thought I would be doing that. It was fast, easy money. And 1998, my father called the cops on me. That's right, my father. It was in the local paper. He found this package out in the garage, so he called the sheriffs and they came and they told him, they said, Mr. Shorb, that's heroin, and we think that your son's selling heroin out of your house. We actually have him under investigation. And they asked if they can go up and search my room, and he said, yeah. So they went up and searched my room, and they found a lot of drugs in my room. They found crack in there, I had weed, I had heroin. I lived within 1,000 feet of a school zone. So they hit me with them charges too. And they locked me up. I went to the Frederick County Detention Center. We're at the Frederick County Detention Center, Marcy's Choice Lane, my old home. It's gonna kick up a lot of feelings. I already know that, it is now.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, doing good.
I'm nervous.
Why?
That was Randy Martin, Assistant Director of Inmate Services. There was a time where I was more comfortable living in this setting, in a controlled environment, than I was in the outside. It's better to be on this side, without a doubt. I remember coming through them doors there so many times, and they'd say, welcome back, Shorb, we knew you'd make it. I'd see some of the sheriffs, and they'd say, it's people like you, Shorb, it's job security for us. And that used to make me mad. And my mom would say, well, stop going to jail. The locks, you hear the locks, that sound. The locks.
Corey was a frequent flyer. He was in here a lot. He always came in with a very bad attitude.
Lock up, acting like a maniac.
He was so angry, screaming and yelling over a minor incident.
Flooding the cell, throwing food. I used to sleep in here. This was home to me. I was comfortable living here. I'd wash my clothes in there, my boxers in there. I ended up doing 18 months.
I've been at the jail for probably about 5 years now. Sometimes people come in maybe 18, early 20s, and they might think, hey, I only party. I just came in here to party. I'm getting out in 18 months.
It's funny because that was me, young, punk, had an answer for everything and a solution for nothing.
It comes with the territory. It comes with the territory.
Yes, it does. One thing I've learned is if nothing changes, nothing changes. And guess what? When I got out, nothing changed.
My belief is that rehabilitation only works if you want it. Corey at the time did not want rehabilitation at all.
When you get better is when you decide to get better. And if you decide to get worse, then that's your choice.
I eventually started selling drugs again. And this time, my brother set me up. That's right, my brother. My brother got caught with some drugs, and he was trying to work this drug charge off. Help us out, we'll help you. Well, he was helping him out. He told me he knew this guy, and I sold him drugs. He knew him, it was an undercover cop.
There was never a glimmer of hope then with you.
No, I didn't think Corey stood a chance.
When I was in the jail with Randy, I seen other people that I used to get high with that still haven't changed. What's going on, man?
Cool, man.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. I knew quite a few of them. It's sad. I know there's people in this room that's doing weed. They're hustling, they're selling weed, they might be selling pills, and opiates is a huge problem nowadays. Pain pills, that's how it started with me.
Some of it is right there in their parents' cabinets. A lot of doctors, when someone has pain, prescribing 60 to 180 Oxycontins or Vicodin to alleviate a pain, but it really created more of a problem.
That's one thing that I've learned, that there's not a pill to fix everything. So we're right on the outskirts of Emmitsburg. This is the route I run. When I run, I'm always scanning the ground. And today I found another needle on the outskirts. It's people throw their needles out because they don't want to go in town with dirty. They don't want to go in town riding with unnecessary stuff on them. I remember sitting out in the Frederick County Detention Center. This is where, we eat. They come by and put a steel tray in there. For 11 months, petrified. I've had every job you could possibly have in this jail. I've worked in the kitchen, I've worked in the laundry, I've worked in the library. One of the reasons I worked in here is because it gave you access to other inmates in the jail too. Any privilege that I got, I abused. There was always a motive behind it. He's checking books at every turn, that just looking for contraband. It's a way that we used to transport, get things around the jail. I can remember getting LSD sent in to me underneath the stamps in mail, and because of things like that, they don't allow people to get envelopes anymore with stamps attached to them. And I sat in there for 11 months trying to fight this charge. This is a law library. You can come down here and you can study your case. And I ended up pleading guilty to distribution of heroin. The chalkboard tells you the maximum penalty of your charge, and this is where you just come and try to dig into your case. And they sent me to prison. They gave me 12 years. I didn't want to go to prison. I know what happens to blonde-haired, blue-eyed boys in prison. I remember seeing people get stabbed. One of them scars in the back of my head, somebody came up behind me with a lock in the sock and hit me in the back of the head. It was tough for me, but it was tougher for my mom. I love my mom. I love my mother to death. And when I look back and see how I treated her when I was your age, I was so disrespectful to her. My mother's the only person that has ever stuck by me through thick and thin.
Hi, I'm Jane Shorb. I'm Corey's mom. I was reaching out to anybody and everybody that I could for help. And I'm about to read a letter that I sent to the intervention people to try to get him help. I am writing because my son needs help now. My son's name is Corey Shorb, and he is 28 years old. He has been addicted to heroin for at least 6 or 7 years now, and has spent 5 of those years in prison for drug use. He wants to be well. It is tearing me apart and breaking my heart seeing him this way. Please help us find help somehow, some way. Thank you.
So all I wanted to do was stop hurting my mom and, and stop going to jail. That's all I wanted to do. Eventually, I wanted something better for my life. That something better was drug court.
When his name first came to us, we were told he's going to be tough.
Joining me this week is Paul Warford, Drug Treatment Court Coordinator.
That's
Paul,
correct.
how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. What is drug court?
Drug court is a circuit court program for people with substance abuse, and they have a criminal either new charge or a violation of probation against them. The basis of their crime is their substance abuse.
One of the first things I tell them is their thinking got them to this point, so it's probably time for them to let some other people think for them.
When he started our program, he had some issues and struggled a bit.
Oh, I struggled a bit because it was structured and they told me what to do. And I don't like structure, and I don't like being told what to do.
He decided to break curfew with another one of our participants at that time who was likewise immature in thought.
And Judge Adams sent me back here for a week.
I think once he figured out that we weren't normal probation, we weren't normal treatment, after that Corey decided I'm going to let them do some things for me.
What people need to understand is that prosecution, that it's not always a nail them in jail them type of thing, especially with addicts. Because what they're going to do is if you just put them in jail, they're just going to come right back out. They're still going to be addicts and they're still going to reoffend, and you're going to get that cycle of prosecution that comes with the cycle of addiction.
Corey is he's almost like a recovery celebrity.
I'm definitely not the person I was when I first got in drug court. It's like night and day. Yeah. That's why I know drug court works.
Corey decided, I want to give back, somehow.
Today he is full-time employed at Mountain Manor Treatment Center, helping others.
My office is important to me because this is something that I once dreamed of. I used to see people going to their jobs, talking about they go into their office and they'd sit in front of their computers, and I never thought that that was reachable. My prison ID, I keep it right next to my desk. It's a good reminder to let me know where I come from.
He is part of the Substance Abuse Council for Frederick County government. It's a volunteer program. Is a real asset to the community now.
Wow, I was shocked. He was working with Mike Folio's program, Youthful Offender Program, and I was volunteering. Well, I was working with the program with the kids, and Corey came in one night and spoke to them.
I speak at this Youthful Offenders Program with the State's Attorney's Office, and I always tell them, I don't care what they did to get in that room. I don't believe any of them are bad. I don't believe any of them are bad. I don't believe anybody in here is bad. I believe we make some bad decisions.
I knew his face, could not remember his name, and I said, Corey, and it really blew me away when he talked about how he changed his life.
And I did. Now I'm working at Mount Manor and helping with a New Horizon program, which is a long-term program for men and women who come from prison. And it's important for people to stay busy in recovery, and a garden will do that. So this is the garden that we got here for the New Horizon guys, and give them something to do and teach them a little bit about garden and the therapeutic value of it.
It definitely helped in my recovery, because sometimes you might find me out here by myself, just reflect on your day or your plans for the future.
That's what I want. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. The only thing I'm used to watching and grow are pot plants. Oh, look at that one. Yeah, you go. That's what I'm talking about. There's squash coming in. I planted my own garden about 3 years ago, was my first one. It taught me patience. What we put into the garden, we'll get out of it. If I don't put a lot into it in my recovery, and I'm not going to get a lot out of it. Yeah, it's a hot one today.
Corey, for me, he's inspiration, and I can look to him and see what I can become. We started the first time, the garden didn't grow, it died, we had to start over. So to see the garden die, and then we stay with it and work and just go through what it took. Till the ground and sweat, and to come and see how my life had to be turned upside down and dig some of that mess from my past out, and then to see the final results of it, to be picking squash and tomatoes and corn ripened, and it encourages me to see what my end results will be.
It's all about recovering and learning your mistakes and growing.
So you got all those green beans from here.
Just like these plants are growing and believe that you don't have to be in the darkness, you can be in the light.
These are medals from races. That's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears right there. Marathons, half marathons. I love it. That's my new addiction.
Corey had the idea of doing something to raise funds, and his love of running kind of led to this event.
I organized a race for recovery. The money's going to drug court, Frederick County Drug Court, which lost their funding for incentives for the participants. When I was in there, I graduated in 2008. They used to give us incentives when we go to court every week or every 2 weeks. They look forward to getting that movie tickets or bowling tickets or tickets to an Orioles game or a $20 gift card to Sheets or whatever it is. And all the money is going back to the participants for incentives. Hey, how are you?
I'm good, man.
Good.
What drug court did for us was gave us the chance and the tools needed to save our lives. This is from Grace United Church of Christ. It's almost $200.
Okay.
It was just amazing. When I first signed up for it, it was just to stay out of prison. Corey graduated before I did, so seeing other successful graduates was incentive, and it helps me know that it does work. And my life has never been better.
I know, right?
And by the end of it, I couldn't believe the change in my life.
Please, everyone, you want to head up towards the slide.
I'm just gonna say go. Go!
I want to help people because I know how hard it is to get out when you're down and out like that. And it's like when I came up, it just seemed like I was always around people who they're real quick to kick you when you're down. And I was taught to never look down on no addict or alcoholic unless I'm helping them up, and I believe that.
Corey is a guy who I met when I first decided to get sober, and you know, I kind of drew a liking to him, and you know, through this process I've gotten into running, and Corey's kind of been an inspiration for me to continue to run. Felt good. Yeah. Haven't ran in a while, so still a little tight, but it's good. Motivation just to keep going.
Good job, fellas. Come on, fellas, let's go.
Having fun early on in recovery is vital. I think it's crucial to have fun in recovery.
It's always good to come do something positive. I never did it before, so I feel like I accomplished something now.
A lot of people think, you know, if I can't, you know, maybe I can't do drugs, but if I can't drink, what am I gonna do? I have fun today, you know, I just don't get high to have fun.
I thought I was having fun before I got sober. I thought going to a bar, getting completely obliterated was fun. And today, being sober and being free to have fun. Come on, 105! Runs. I hope I'm alive when I'm that age, not a little running. Family, I mean, I'm there for my family. That's fun. I never would have said that before.
I jumped out of a plane last year, 12,000 feet, you know, and I've never even flown in a plane.
You know, I needed help. When I came into these rooms, I needed help. And Paul and Corey and other people who have been in these rooms have taught me that there's a different way of life, but you can still have fun.
Well, I mean, it's nice just that people are coming out to support me. I mean, the state's attorney will be out here.
Corey, where he is today, he's miles from where he was when he entered our program.
When I got sober, they say about making a list of things to do, and running 5Ks with the state's attorney wouldn't have been on that list.
Corey's saying he can't imagine running a race with the state's attorney, the office that prosecuted him and put him in jail, or, you know, put him in the drug court treatment program. But you know what? That just goes to show you that, you know, anything is possible if you want to put your mind to it. And for Corey, it was leading a normal life, which he's doing now. It was defeating addiction, and now it's paying back.
He's a professional.
So many addicts go to jails and prisons instead of getting the treatment that they need. Corey has been an inspiration to me from the beginning, from meeting him while he was working with Trey while Trey was struggling. He died a year ago, August 13th, and it's important for us to be here to help support the community and work that I see him do in this community, and the hope that he gives and the message that he lives, not just what he speaks, but what he really lives, really inspires me, and I hope and pray that it inspires other people.
Come on! Whoa, good job. Nice job.
Awesome. Good job, bud.
Yeah.
Come on, PJ. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. He struggled his whole life with recovery, and it's important to be here.
Everyone knows someone affected by addiction, and everyone deserves a second chance. Someone gave me a second chance. It's all about second chances. I mean, without second chances, we'd all be nowhere.
All right. This is great. All these people out here, look at this great event.
Yeah.
And so what he's doing with this event is trying to help people who are like him.
And it takes hard work. You can't snap your fingers and all of a sudden you're a better person. Corey put the work in. You know, I'm proud of the person that he is today.
You know, they say good things come to those who wait. Well, I know good things come to those who bust their ass and never give up, too.
We've been through a lot of hard times, but now that I've been through those, I can see why he wants to help other people and the other families. And it makes me want to help them too, because you just can't imagine until you've been through it.
What do you think your life would have been if you would have continued down that path?
There's not a doubt in my mind that I wouldn't have been in that line if I didn't change. I think I would have been not in that line now. I think I would have been in prison. I'm not exempt from being back in that line too. I got a house, I got a fiance, you know, I got my daughter. I love her to death, you know. She, you know, seeing that smile on her face in the morning when she wakes up, it makes it all worth it. Oh my God.
She's so cute.
I love you. I really wish you all the best. And thank you for having me. I hope the students got something out of my message. Thanks, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Unfortunately, many will go down the same long, hard road I traveled.
You know, you have to crawl before you can walk, and you have to walk before you run. And so right now he's running, and it's a beautiful sight to see.